to MCJ's Art Studio, and this is the podcast version of the MCJ's Art Studio. If you're new to this particular platform, but maybe you have seen some shorts, maybe you've seen some content, listen, before we even start, I need for you to subscribe to this channel. Support this channel by not only liking it and commenting to it, but definitely subscribing to it. That is what makes it grow. We are now 2K strong. Thank you so much to all 2K followers. I really appreciate it. And let's make this bigger. Let's make this community something that everybody can benefit from. So before I start with today's topic, let me just inform you on some great opportunities. And the first one is that we have an opportunity for you. You can join a course, a contemporary art course where we'll be painting with oil paint. That means that it is a digital course. It will be offered on my Patreon. Now, here's the thing. If you sign up before the 25th of March, it will be 99 euros. Zolas, depending on where you live, baby. Depending on where you are and what currency you would like to use. All is fine. But you have until the 25th of March to sign up for the course. So that doesn't give you a lot of time. Today is the 17th. So you have a little bit of time to think about it, but I want to think too long about it because after the 25th, the price will go to its regular pricing. It will be 199 euros, which is a pretty good decent price for a course. Now, what is it that you're getting offered? You're getting, of course, all the material that you need that you can download. There will be a small syllabus that you get with that. You'll get a digital course that you can play whenever you want to. You can stop and pause it if you want to. This will be done in 4K with great audio, so it is easy for you to understand and also to follow. And you get to ask questions. So if you have any questions after taking the course or anything that you are dealing with, you get the opportunity to ask me that at any particular moment in time. Now, this course is, of course, for people who want to join in. So if you are on my Patreon, you get the opportunity to join in with this particular course, 99 euros. This is now the moment where you have to sign up. Go to the link in my bio here on YouTube and click on the tab that says course, contemporary art course. That's what it says. The moment that you click on that, you will get into the landing page where you can sign up. No, you don't have to pay up right away, but what you're showing me is that you have an interest. Eventually, you will get an email of me, and that will allow you to finalize your participation, your enrollment into the course. All right? So you want to develop yourself, you want to elevate, you want to learn some new things, some new perspectives, and also just to get better with working with oil paint. This is the moment to do it. And this is for beginners as it is for people that are intermediate. So don't worry about that. I got you. Let's get to it. The second thing that I want to talk about is, of course, your participation to the Patreon. The Patreon is the place where I will be offering more and more content. I still will be posting on YouTube. Y'all see me here. I didn't forget about my people here. And as a matter of fact, this is the place where I want to meet you all. This is my community. This is where we all meet. And the Patreon is for those who want to support from, just so the support as a free member, but also as a contributing member, meaning that you will be getting into a subscription, allowing me to even invest more into the things that I do, not just for me, MCJ Art Studio, but also for you all. There are a lot of things that I have on my planning. I would like to do more museum visits. I would like to tell you more about the way that I work. But for that, I definitely need to invest into the studio. I would like to create more material that y'all get to download from my Patreon. You can get into that, and therefore we need to invest into that. And your contribution is very important. So become a patron. There are great perks to get over there. Get to it. And if there may be things that you would like to suggest, like, hey, maybe this perk would be really great for this particular tier, let me know. I'll think about it and maybe I will add it to it. So link in the bio, you'll find the link tree, and there you can join in. All right, now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the topic of today. So again, if you're listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, give your like. We would really appreciate that. So the thing that I want to talk about for today is that basically, I don't know if it's more like a talk, but I think it's more like a alarm bell that I'm ringing. I'm ringing the alarm. Kind of alarm. It's not that bad as I'm saying or making it to be, but I do want to raise the awareness of where we're standing as a creative community, as an artistic community. The creative sector is now undergoing a huge, massive change where we are seeing people being laid off over there. We are seeing that social media platforms like Meta, Pinterest are using AI software and have been using AI software for the longest, but are now really putting full force into it to train their platforms based on the content that we produce on these platforms. The time that we could carelessly and freely just post whatever it is that we wanted to post and build a community on that, those days are gone, right? Those days are gone. And we as creators, creatively, we are all now noticing that. We are feeling and seeing the consequences of the cause. It kind of feels to me like a social experiment, right? How long will it take for that before people start to notice that things are about to change? I don't want it to get to the point where we are the frogs in hot water and slowly the temperature is being increased and now we are boiled alive. I don't want us to be in that particular point, but I do want to redirect your attention to the importance of knowing and also intentionally now creating your content on these platforms, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because not a couple of days ago, did I see a TikTok video where a content creator basically did the same thing that I'm doing right now, raising the alarm, saying, hey, listen, if you're on Pinterest and you have recently accepted the new terms, right, the general terms, conditions, the privacy policy, you might want to go and look at your settings because you have probably already accepted the fact that they are using your content to train their AI software. And I was like, damn it. Oh my gosh, what the hell is going on? First Meta, which I kind of suspected. I'm not surprised, but I was like, Pinterest? Pinterest too? But then I started to think back at a particular time where I was sketching and I needed a reference photo. And I was looking for Afro-American woman, Black woman with curly hair or something like that. And as I got the results, I was like, what in the heck is this? This whole feed that I was looking at was just filled with AI, quote unquote, art. Let me call it AI content, because that is not art, it's just content. And as I was scrolling, I was like, oh my God, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It was a very specific search term that I filled in. But however, I was like, what in the heck? What the hell is going on? Just filled with AI content. And it clicked for me. It absolutely clicked for me. I was like, they're using our content. And they are doing it so that they can monetize on whatever it is that they now want to create and offer to people. Right? And the fear that I have about this, and I find this a very valid, credible fear, is that eventually artists and creatives are going to compete with things that are not real or based on whatever it is that already has been created by us. Because remember, AI software It is a particular software that needs our input when it comes to our behavior, our decision making, our thinking, our creative process, our creativity, this, that, and a third. It uses that data so that it can be trained and therefore also, I believe, complement and not substitute our work. That is how I look at AI. But hey, we see that different things are being planned. And I cannot let go of the fact that there might be cases, and maybe that this has already happened, but there will be more and more cases, of course, of people putting their work online and then getting a strike because it might be something that already has been created by someone, by AI, through AI. Not necessarily by someone else, but through AI. And that AI is being seen as the original and yours is being seen as the dupe. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. So this might be the moment that you're already critically thinking, because I believe that y'all are critical thinkers. Y'all smart people, you are intelligent, and you will think things through. So this might be the moment where you're already thinking, hey, but what about copyrights? Don't they count? In Europe, if you post something and it's yours, it's originally yours, and you have the right to say, hey, this is protected by copyright. I absolutely agree. But when I look at the way that, we also have to think about ethical and fair use and how these social media platforms are silently and very sneaky are using our content to train their AI programs, I'm wondering if EU law, international law, is taking this into consideration, and if any amendments are being made referring to what we are now seeing with the developments of AI, and also the amount of people that have been laid off in the United States in the creative sector. Because these corporations are already like, yo, we can make big bucks with just using AI. And we don't need those big creators and illustrators and artistic people. We can do it ourselves, or we just have a few people who do it the way that we would like to see it, right? Not knowing and not respecting and not having any ethical integrity. They don't want to hold the integrity of artistic influence, artistic creation, and that we forever will be the source. So now we are coming into a danger zone, I feel. Again, I don't want to be fear-mongering. I don't want to be like, oh, now we need to be all scared and you're paralyzed so you cannot do anything about it, because I still believe that we are stronger as a community to, one, inform each other about it, two, have these conversations and out loud ask the question, what will happen to European law when it comes to copyright? What will happen to international law? Will there be any amendments? And hey, how can we protect ourselves when it comes to this? And another thing that we also need to think about is the way that we produce content on these platforms. Because for me, I don't mind sharing what it is I create, but I'm very mindful of how much of it that I create and what it is that I now share, which is a huge reason for me to do a lot of it on Patreon. Now, again, y'all critical thinkers, so y'all might be thinking, hey, but you could also have like subscriptions for people who are on your YouTube, like a member page, and the meta platforms are doing that already, et cetera, et cetera. There are platforms who do that. Yes, I hear you. I understand. But here's the thing. Platforms like Patreon, and I also believe Substack. I haven't really delved into Substack. I have made an account, but I haven't really delved into Substack. But when I look at Patreon in comparison to YouTube and other meta platforms, until now, it has not been about advertising for them. And these platforms like TikTok, X, what more do you got? You got, the meta platforms. Their existence runs heavily on advertising. the selling of data. These are corporations, people. So what is the main purpose of a corporation? To make money, to make a profit, not just money, but to make profit, right? To make a profit. We have to become aware of that. And maybe that's also the reason why I'm so tenacious when it comes to saying that we also are businesses. We have to really start thinking about ourselves as businesses. If you are on a platform where you are selling your work, where you are offering your work to get remuneration from that, so earnings from that, a profit from that, you are a business and you should start operating in such a way. Because right now, like I already said, it feels like a social experiment where they are just looking, hey, how long can we use their input so that we can make ourselves richer from that? And basically just making us perish, killing off the whole intention of having creators and creatives, because it is based on the creativity and artistry of the people that are on these platforms, right? There's a reason why so many people go to social media to get their news, to get their entertainment, to get their music. It's because of that. It's because of the contributors. But I believe that the way that we really can triumph through this development is that, one, we educate ourselves, of course, about what AI software is and how it can help us in the artistic industry and creative industry, how it can support us in our businesses. So that's why I say, please look at yourself as a business and invest into the knowledge of that and even the usage now that it's still free. And secondly, also, like I earlier said, raise the attention towards the protection that our work needs to have, the fair use, the ethical use, upholding the integrity, copyright, trademarking. Those things, I believe, are still very much key. And yes, we can, of course, raise the question, which some of you might have, like, yeah, but how are we going to come to those resources, right? How do we get those resources? If you don't have the resources, then we do have to be a lot smarter about the way that we create our content. And one way of doing that is by looking at your content as a promotional tool, a marketing tool, right? You market yourself as being the creative, the artist of whatever skill that you have. So that when people want to know more about you, they get to either your website, your email, right? So they get your newsletter, or to a platform like Substack or Patreon, where the main focus is not to have, the selling of data to advertisers so that they advertise for that or things like that, right? As we see at those meta platforms, they might have different ways of getting their money and making it sustainable. But it still is the intention to have a place for creatives and makers to be the center, right? They are at the center of their content. They are in control of the content. They are in ownership of their content. So these are questions and also conversations that we need to start having with each other. And this might be a great opportunity to have it right now. Put it here in the comment section what it is that you think about this. Have you ever thought about that? Did you ever even think about it in a particular way? And if so, what are your thoughts about it? I would love to hear that. I would love to know that from you. Because this is a serious thing. This is a very serious thing. If we want to be in control of it, we cannot, stick our hands up in the air and say, oh my God, I'm a victim and I don't know what to do, or I'm just small, petite, medium artist and I don't know what to do. No, you're not. You're in a community with other artists. And the conversation needs to exist. It needs to continue. We need to say it out loud, right? We need to speak with each other about this. All right. Listen, that's the end of my podcast. Let me know what it is that you think, and please give a thumbs up so that I can see that you like this content. do go to the link in my bio where you'll find my link tree and sign up for the course. All right, you got to the 25th of March to get that special offer that I have for y'all. Subscribe to my newsletter to be on the up and up of anything that is happening at MCJ's Art Studio. And of course, join the Patreon where you will get more information here. I will see y'all next time. Be blessed, stay safe, and we will speak with each other very soon. Bye, y'all.